सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्याम्
सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्याम् सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्याम्
तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि
तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि
अस्मिन् महत्यर्भवेऽन्तरिक्षे
अस्मिन् महत्यर्भवेऽन्तरिक्षे अस्मिन् महत्यर्भवेऽन्तरिक्षे.
See, when you are learning very slowly, it is difficult to connect to the mantra than when you are chanting in speed. So this particular one, Asmin Mahatyarnave. See, that's the way it is. Asmin Mahatyarnave Asmin Mahatyarnave correct. Asmin Bhava Adhi Asmin Maghatyarnave Bhava Adhi
Asmin Mahatyarnave Bhava Adhi Asmin Mahatyarnave Bhava Adhi
Antarikshe Antarikshe Bhava Adhi
Antarikshe Bhava Adhi Antarikshe Bhava Adhi
Nilagrivaah Sitikanthah Sharva So it's actually Nilagrivaah. Okay? Nilagrivaah, plural. Sitikanthah, plural. When there is aha, there is plural. If you say Nilas, that's the reason why Swami changed this Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Everybody says Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. That is not correct. Samasta Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu. It's actually Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Everybody was saying Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Then he said, why you are all saying one Loka to be happy? All the Lokas should be happy. So the way you are sounding is one Loka should be happy. So he changed it to Samasta Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu. But still we say Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Incorrect. Samasta means all. Loka means one. What is all? One. It's incorrect. So you have to say Samasta Lokah. Like this here also plural. Nilagrivaah Sitikantha Sarva Adhaka Kshamacharah
Nilagrivaah Sitikantha
Sarva Adhaka Nilagrivaah Sitikantha Sarva Adhaka Kshamacharah
Nilagrivaah Sitikantha
Sarva Adhaka Kshamacharah Nilagrivaah
Sitikantha Sarva Adhaka Kshamacharah
नीलग्रीवाक्षितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्रा उपश्रिताः
नीलग्रीवाक्षितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्रा उपश्रिताः नीलग्रीवाक्षितिकण्ठादिवगुं रुद्रा उपश्रिताः.
When you sit close to me and you have a good voice in chanting, the mistakes are heard very clearly. Sorry, brother. So, but that doesn't mean you should be far away. It's an opportunity to be corrected. Lot of people want to sit far away from Bhagavan, because when you are close to him, he can look at you, correct you, and he can also play with you. If you are sitting some far away outstanding person, how can that interaction doesn't happen? Sitikantha has a Sitikantha, both are down. Nilagriva Sitikantha Divagum Rudra Upasritah.
Nilagriva Sitikantha Divagum Rudra Upasritah. Nilagriva Sitikantha Divagum Rudra Upasritah.
Don't feel nervous, it's okay, okay? No problem. Nilagriva Sitikantha Divagum Rudra Upasritah.
Nilagriva Sitikantha Divagum Rudra Upasritah. Nilagriva Sitikantha Divagum Rudra Upasritah.
E vruksheshu saspinjara.
Ye vruksheshu saspinjara. Ye vruksheshu saspinjara.
Nilagriva vilohitah.
Nilagriva vilohitah. Nilagriva vilohitah.
E vruksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitah.
Ye vruksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitah. Ye vruksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitah.
Vruksheshu, shu is up. E vruksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitah.
Ye vruksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitah. Ye vruksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitah.
Ye bhutanam adhipatayo.
Ye bhutanam adhipatayo. Ye bhutanam adhipatayo.
Visikhasakapardinaha.
Visikhasakapardinaha. Visikhasakapardinaha.
Ye bhutana madhipatayo visikhasakapardinaha.
Ye bhutana madhipatayo visikhasakapardinaha. Ye bhutana madhipatayo visikhasakapardinaha.
Ye anneshu vividyanti.
Ye anneshu vividyanti.
Shu is not down, flat. Ye anneshu vividyanti.
Ye anneshu vividyanti.
Vividyanti.
Vividyanti. Vividyanti.
Ye anneshu vividyanti.
Ye anneshu vividyanti.
पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान्
पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान्
ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान्
ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान्
ये पथां पथिरक्षय
ये पथां पथिरक्षय ये पथां पथिरक्षय
ऐलभृदाय व्युधः
ऐलभृदाय व्युधः ऐलभृदाय व्युधः
ये पथां पथिरक्षय ऐलभृदाय व्युधः
ये पथां पथिरक्षय ऐलभृदाय व्युधः ये पथां पथिरक्षय ऐलभृदाय व्युधः
ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति
ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति
सृकावन्तो निषङ्गिणः
सृगावन्तो निषङ्गिणः सृगावन्तो निषङ्गिणः
ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सृकावन्तो निषङ्गिणः
ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सृगावन्तो निषङ्गिणः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति सृगावन्तो निषङ्गिणः
ययेतावन्तश्च
ययेतावन्तश्च
भूयागुंसश्च
भूयागुंसश्च
दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे
दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे
ययेतावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे
ययेतावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे ययेतावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे
तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने
तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने
तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि
तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि
नमो रुद्रेभ्यो
नमो रुद्रेभ्यो नमो रुद्रेभ्यो
ये पृथिव्यां
ये पृथिव्यां ये पृथिव्यां
येऽन्तरिक्षे दिवि एषामन्नम् वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो Voice down. वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर दशोदीचीर दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु तेयम् द्विष्मो यश्च नो द्वेष्ठितं वो जम्भे दधामि Now you realize it's all one mantra. So I will chant the whole mantra and then you have to repeat 2 times. Namo Rudrebhyo ye pridhivyam ye antarikshe ye divi esha mannam vato varshamishavastebhyo dasha prachir dasha dakshina dasha pratichir dashodhichir dashodva stebhyo namaste no mrudayantu teyam vishmo yascha no dveshtitam vo jambhe dadhami. 85%. 15% still not perfect. But now the real thing is to chant the whole Anuvakam 2 times. This is the 11th Anuvakam in Sri Rudram, and the next one is actually Prarthana Mantra, Trayambakam Yajamhe. It's so Sahasrani Sahasrasho Ye Rudradi Bhumya. So let us do it. Today somehow Swami and Shirdi Baba shifted places. Huh? Is there a reason for that? It's okay. There is no mistake. I think everything happens with His will only. But I just realized that when I was looking at the back, there is a different energy from. So the old man is sitting behind. So let us chant Sahasrani Sahasrasho Yerdrat, the whole Anuvakam. Sahasrani Sahasrasho excellent. Now I know that you have to get it in the flow to chant it perfectly, I guess, because the mind gets programmed. What you have to be very careful about is the mind gets programmed all the time. The point of spirituality is to actually unwind the mind, to unlearn what the mind has learned. Now you ask the question, what is this unlearning? Now the kids are listening to this and saying, I am only supposed to learn but not unlearn. The ritual helps you learn. The spirit gets you unlearn. So the learning and the unlearning happening at the same time. That is spiritual. You need the ritual to train the mind. But once the mind is trained into the ritual, then what happens? It throws a process at you. And so what happens? Mind is like that process. It keeps you telling this process and disconnects you from the spirit. To keep the mind under check, you need to learn something. But to unlearn it is the spirit. To learn is the ritual. But you see, both are connected to each other. If you only do ritual, then it is not good. If you are only in the spirit, then that is also not good. Because how can you run your daily life if you are constantly in the spirit? You have to take care of your kids, you have to study your courses, you have to do so many other things. But to get the ritual, but not let the mind only follow the ritual, this is spiritual. Why I am telling this is, this mantra is about that. This last Anuvakam is about untying the mind. Untying the mind. How is this mind gets tied all the time? The mind gets tied all the time by perceptions. Mind gets tied all the time by seeing something, by the senses. Isn't it? If the senses don't operate, the mind has no business. Hello? Just listen to this. What's telling you? Smell, nice smell. I have to eat breakfast. Feel all of a sudden hungry. And your thing is, your sense of hunger gets stimulated because of the sense of smell. You see some nice ice cream, very nice ice cream. All of a sudden the tongue is telling, oh, the eyes are telling the mind, nice ice cream, let me eat it. And then the mind follows the sense immediately. Similarly, at a higher level, or at a lower level I should say, at a lower level, it is not the senses, but it is everything that is happening around us that actually draws the mind outward. And then we carry for lifelong time instincts and perceptions that are not even associated with this birth. Suddenly, because it's that imprint is there somewhere, and this imprint is caused by some situation, some person, etc. So all this baggage is what you are carrying. The mind is tied up with all this stuff. Sahasrani, millions or thousands is actually Sahasra is infinite. Sahasra in number is 1,000, but Sahasra also means infinite number. Sahasrani, infinite number. Sahasrasho, Sahasrashaha, in different millions of ways. Millions of people, Rudras, millions of ways. A Rudra, those Rudras that are in millions in number and in millions of ways, Adibhumyam, that are on this earth, Tesham, their, Dhanvani, means bows, their bows, Sahasrayojane, millions of miles away, Sahasrani, Yojana means distance. Yojana is a distance metric. I don't know how to translate it exactly into miles, but one yojana means X number of miles. Keep it that way. I'll tell you next, or search on Google, it will tell you. So, and avathanmasi, let them not carry their bows or draw their bows. You understand? That's the literal meaning of that mantra. We keep unstringed. We want to unstring thousands of leagues away. League, that is the distance. A yojana is a league. I don't know how many miles a league is. Thousands of leagues away. The bows of a myriad forms of countless number and countless manifestations of Rudras who range over this earth. Oh my God. Just think about that. Think about the magnitude that is laid out there. I said the bow is the representation symbolic of the mind. We are getting affected by the minds of millions of people in millions of ways who are using their thoughts on us, isn't it? Means what? We get carried away by the thoughts of others. And once they start bowing, once they start using their mind on you in countless number of ways, the same person is perceived countless number of ways by countless number of people. Some people perceive Swami as the most incredible incarnation on this earth. Some people, millions of people also perceive him as somebody who is doing something wrong. Millions of Rudras, millions of ways. Some people extol him, some people condone him. Pogide vallu kondanta, tegide vallu kondanta. People that praise me are millions in numbers. Peoples that condone me are millions all in numbers. Then what are you saying? Let me not be affected by the millions that praise me, by the millions that condone me. Let me not be affected by their perceptions. I pray that their minds are leagues away from me. Means what? Seshagum sahasra yojane avadhanvani tanvasi. In this mantra, the earth is the body. Your body is getting affected by all these different aspects, just like a computer is getting affected by so many pop-up windows and all kinds of viruses that are constantly trying to get and corrupt your hard disk and slow down your memory. Your body is also getting corrupted by the perceptions of millions of people in millions of ways. But here is the beauty. In this mantra, you are calling them Rudras. You are not telling all those are bad people. They are Rudras. See, that is the power of this Rudram. Why is Swami asking us to chant Sri Rudram? You can imagine how your life is getting affected by so many people in so many ways, but yet you all respect them like Rudras and you only pray, let their perceptions be millions of miles away from me. Means what? Let me not be affected by them. But can you eliminate all the Rudras around you? No, you cannot. You have to be in the Rudras. Adhibhumya. They are all on this earth. But you have to pray that they are not affecting you. Huh? Now, Sahasrani, millions of Rudras. Sahasrasho, in myriad ways, in millions of ways. That are Ye Rudra, those Rudras that are pervading this earth. I pray that they keep their bows millions of leagues away from me. What a beautiful prayer. What an incredible prayer this is. And let's chant the mantra again with that intent, that let millions of Rudras that are affecting us in millions of ways. They are Rudras. They are not. Treat them as God. Don't treat that people that are thinking bad about you are bad people. It is their ajnana that they are thinking about you like that. But you are not affected by it. You cannot. You should not. People will come, they'll tell you so many things. Oh, fantastic, Shekharji, you did a great job with this satsang. Nothing belongs to me. You are giving unnecessary due credit. He's the one that is doing it. Some people say, what you said really hurt me. Jambheda dhami. Offer it. Apologize. Because it's their perception. They are affected. Apologize. Move on. Don't get affected by it. You see, practically, how do you apply this mantra? Is you have to have the consciousness that your awareness is being drawn out first by your senses, then by so many other things, but in ways you don't even imagine. How can you not think of somebody not thinking good about you, bad about you? Is it under your control? It is not under your control. It's absolutely not under your control. But what can you do? You can only pray that your awareness is not get affected by it. Let's chant the mantra again. Sahasrani. No, Ashwin, I only wanted to chant that mantra. Sahasrani sahasrasho e rudra adhibhumyam keshagum sahasrayojane avadhanvani tanmasi. Now, this teshagum sahasrayojane avadhanvani tanmasi, that is repeated after every mantra when you do the homam. Okay? But here, so for example, the next one, Asmim Magha Tyarnave Entarikshe Bhava Adhi Teshagum srayojane vadhanvani tanmasi. So what the second mantra is saying is Asmin mahatyarnave antarikshe bhava adhi. This Rudras are, now they are describing, first one is Bhumi, they said, Adhibhumyam. Then the next one is, they are also in Arnava, Maharnava, means in the oceans, in the waters. Asmin Mahatyarnave, Antarikshe, they are in the space. Oh my God. Here what it means? Millions of Rudras that are pervading the water, millions of Rudras that are pervading the space, millions of Rudras that are pervading the earth in millions of ways. Let their bows not be drawn at me. Let them, I pray, that they keep their bows millions of leagues away from me. The first one is Bhumyam. Bhumi here stands for Bhuh. Arnava, Bhuvaha. Antariksha, Suvaha, Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Those are the three that are referred to in this mantra. Adhibhumyam, Bhug, Antarikshe, Suvaha, Maharnavam, that is the waters, Suvaha. Now, this description, now the first case is laid out, how they are pervading, where they are pervading. Yeah? The next is, how are all they going to affect you? What are all the different Rudras that exist is described in the next part. So, let's chant from Sahasra and Sahasrasho till E Vruksheshu Saspinjara. Sahasrani
Asmin mahatyarnaventarikshe bhava adhi nilagrimastikanta sarva adaha
Kshamachara Teshagum Sahasrayojane Vadhanvani Tanmasi. Now, let's pause there. We'll take a couplet like that. Nilagriva. Nilagrivaha, Sitikantah. Nilagrivaha means those that have necks that are blue in color. Nilagrivaha. Sitikantah means those that have very fair neck, white neck. And Sharvaha, Adhaha, Kshamacharaha. And who wander, the Sharvas means the manifestation of all these Rudras that are wandering Adaha, Kshamachara. They are wandering in the downward worlds and also in nether regions, means the regions that are in between the earth and the Patala. There are 14 lokas that are actually pervading the whole world. The base is the Bhuloka. Then when you go up, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, Maharloka, Janoloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. When you go down, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala lokas. 14 lokas. The earth is the common point, going up, coming down. In this mantra it is saying, those Rudras that have blue necks, those Rudras that have white necks, that are actually pervading between the earth and all the way down. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala lokas. Going downwards. Then, if you ask the question, oh, I cannot imagine any guy that is blue necked that is bothering me, white neck that is bothering me or thinking about me. What is the context of this mantra? Huh? Swami, several years ago, I don't even remember now, or maybe even even before the Rudra classes started, I was asking him, suddenly one day I asked, Swami, what does Neela Griva mean? Griva means neck, Neela means blue, blue necked one. That is the meaning of Neela Griva literally. I asked Swami, I never saw any guy that is blue-necked. What is the meaning of this Nilagriva? Then he said very casually, he said, Nilagriva antena, Neelani evaporate chesevadu bangaru. He said, Nilagriva means the one who evaporates water. That's what he said. Nila means water, Griva means the one who takes it. I said, Nilagriva means the one who evaporates water. What does that mean to do with the Shiva or the Rudra? Huh? Then he was out of his infinite, I said, I had a blank face, question mark face. And out of his infinite compassion, he actually, the glass was right next to him sitting in the chair, right? He took a glass and then he materialized some white powder in this other hand and then he put it in this glass of water and he mixed the water. Then he said, this water, before I mixed it, after I mix it, looks the same, no? Then he said, what did I put in the water? Something that dissolved in it. How do you know what I put in it? Only by tasting it. If it is salty, then he put salt in it. If it is sweet, it is sugar in it. But the point is, both the sugar and the salt, whatever he put, is now merged with the water. You can't see the substance anymore, isn't it? But then he asked the question, in order to see the substance I put in this water, what needs to happen to the water in order to bring back that substance again? You have to evaporate it. Huh? Right? Then I said, oh my God, I got it. What an incredible way of explaining what Nilagriva is. Swami said then that just like that, the divine consciousness is dissolved like a salt in the water. And in order to bring this divinity out, you have to evaporate the water, which here is symbolic of the senses. When the senses are under control, when you have a ceiling on desires, you will experience the divinity more and more. When you are indulged in the desire, you cannot experience the divinity. Hello? Are you all blanked out or blissed out? Okay. So, Nilagriva means the one that keeps your senses under check. In order to experience this divine consciousness, if the mind is constantly drawn towards Khana, Pina, Sona, Marna, how can you experience divinity? When is the time to experience divinity? Yesterday's thought for the day, that's exactly he says. He says, you should not think about how much time you have spent in chanting the name of God. I am paraphrasing it. But he says, think about how much time you have wasted not chanting his name. What do you say? I went to Suprabhatam today. I did 108 name. I did 108 Gayatri, 24 hours Rudram. Don't count that. Count how much time was wasted not thinking about God. That's the way. That's the metric. Huh? And once you give that metric, he said, no trouble, no tribulation. Nothing will affect you. It doesn't mean they're not there. Hello? This is other thing that we have. We think. Huh? What we think is, the moment we start chanting the divine name, all the mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, boss, peer, everybody disappear. They don't disappear anywhere. They are still around you. They don't go anywhere. There is nothing called golden age and everything will turn. What happens? The golden age of God, Jesus said, is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. It's not elsewhere. Don't go look for it somewhere else. Turn yourself. Experience the kingdom of God within yourself. How do you experience that kingdom of God? The kingdom of God is experienced by focusing on the divine and letting the mind, controlling the senses. Nilagriva. Sitikantha means the white-necked ones. Sitikantha here means the realized souls. Nilagriva also means, he said, two different people. Nilagriva means those that are indulged in senses. Sitikantha means those that have evaporated the senses. And these people are there what? They are around you. but let them not charge their mind against you. And you pray, let these Rudras put their bows thousands of leagues of miles away from me. I don't know about you. Whenever I think about this particular Anuvakam, what an incredible, this is the they call the jewel in the crown of the entire Sri Rudra. Because you can experience the divinity, how in Toronto, by the way, I'm very grateful that Swami started these classes after a long break. Somehow this is the only weekend I have been at home since 3 months almost. So thank you all for bringing me back home now. Yeah. And in Toronto, when we did the workshop, last Saturday, it's about consciousness at Vyashti, the individual level, Samashti, the collective level, Srushti at the creation level, Parameshti at the divine level. This consciousness is always there to integrate from Vyashti, Samashti, Srushti, Parameshti. This is the essence of Sri Rudram. If we have not yet understood why Swami emphasizes this, is to how to manifest this consciousness that is pervading at the individual level all the way to the universal, to the divine, to the creation, to the creator. But in order to do this, you require certain practices at individual level, at collective level, together with the creation. You require certain practices. And that is what we are today. Our stupid rational mind wants to walk away from these practices. Because our stupid rational mind thinks, oh, I am beyond all this stuff. Why do I need to do all this stuff if I am experiencing the divine already? Because you have a body, because you have a mind, because you are in a society, because there is a relative consciousness, because there is an absolute consciousness. Hello. It was a phenomenal workshop. 6.5 hours, whole Saturday. This was the topic in Toronto. And then what do we do at individual level? What do we do as collective level? We are all thinking this collective sadhana, why do you come to a center? If you are already realized soul, you wouldn't be first of all having a home, car, iPhone, iPad, mortgage, all this stuff. I will assure you that. I will totally assure you that. If you are a realized soul in spirit, you will be a Bhagavan Ramana, not attached to anything. Body will have cancer, blood will be flowing through, you will be watching that just as a witness. Are you in that consciousness to say, I don't need to do all this stuff? At a time comes, Baba, one pizza, second pizza, third pizza, ice cream. What happened to absolute consciousness? So don't kid yourself or ourselves. Not you means not you. It also applies to me. What I am saying is, let us not kid ourselves that we are beyond all this stuff. But that doesn't mean you feel guilty about everything. This is the other thing, It is not like feeling, I am a poor soul. I can't focus, I can't concentrate, I'm an idiot. I can't even go to center, I can't wake up for... That is not the point of it. You have to put every effort to understand how much time, what is the opportunity for me to be in this consciousness. That's the question that Swami is saying we have to ask. And in this context of that, imagine if every one of us sitting here have one pointed focus on this universal consciousness, how it would be. Just imagine what it is. Imagine that experience. Therefore, what happens is, when you come together in this collective consciousness, the individual's consciousness gets amplified by the magnitude of the collective consciousness that is present. Therefore, there is a temple. Therefore, there is a church. Therefore, there is a mosque. Therefore, there is a synagogue. Therefore, there is a Gurudwara. Therefore, there are Sai centers. Therefore, these collective things are established for us. Understand? What is this to do with the mantra we are chanting? When you are in that mode, you are not worried about anything else that is happening. Who is thinking what about you? Whether you should buy iPad 2 or iPad 1. or whether it should, yesterday I heard a beautiful Swamiji Vishwamji was here last week, a week before. He was actually, apparently somebody was carrying apple. He was saying, oh, apple in hand, apple in pocket, apple in car, apple at home. Nobody understood what he was saying. Haath mein, real apple. In pocket, iPhone, Apple. In the car, iPad, Apple. At home, Apple, iMac. Everywhere, Apple. Huh? Yes.
Then why are we saying keep Neelagrivas and also Sithikantas miles away?
No, what we are saying is we are asking them to keep their minds miles away from us. We are praying, let them have their bows leagues away. That's what the mantra is saying. I pray that their minds are leagues away from us. Their bows are leagues away from us. Means what? You are praying that somebody is not affecting you by a thought they have about you. Whether you know it or not, that thought of somebody affects you. You have no control over it. Huh? What can you do? You can only say, I pray that I am not affected by their minds. You can't walk away from them. The bad news is father-in-law, mother-in-law, you go home, they're all there. And Bala, don't think otherwise, not intended for Meera. They're all there. They're not going anywhere. But let their thoughts not affect me. I pray that they put their minds away from me. But remember, they are Rudras. See, that is the beauty of it. They are Rudras. They are not ordinary people. Because for one simple reason, without an intent, God doesn't have any being exist in this cosmos. Without an intent, nobody can be present on this earth or anywhere. So God has created every being, everything with an intent. That means what? His divinity is in them and they are here for a purpose. They are Rudras. They have a mission. But as far as I am concerned, let me not be affected by them. But I am with them. I am in them. They are on the earth. They are in the water. They are in the space. Okay? I think the time is up. So let's, I just want to briefly say this. I know many of you are not on the Rudram site, but I will send it through Koteswara. We're going to start Atirudram again from December 22nd in Bay Area, closing on January 1st. Atirudram is the 121 devotees at least chanting 11 times a day for 11 days. So this year, for our dear young adults, we didn't do it in November because they all went to Parthi to be with Swami. So they are all back, hopefully more energized and not sick. And so we'll be starting Atirudram from 22nd to the 1st. And please take an opportunity. It's an incredible thing. Many of you have learned this Rudram with lot of devotion and love. Everywhere I go, people are saying, we have to learn this. There is no, because God declared that everybody should learn it. And now you will understand why He declared you should learn it, because it's a supreme, powerful prayer about consciousness of the individual, collective, creation, all the way to the Creator. Don't ask the question why I should read this, sir. Can't I be in that consciousness anyway? Yes, individually you can. Collectively, no. When collectively we chant that, we relate to that. That's where the individual consciousness is raised more profoundly. So we'll close with this. Next Sunday also we'll have the class. With Bhagavan's grace, hopefully we'll complete the Namakam. And then with Atirudram, you will be experts in Chamakam, and I will accelerate the Chamakam part of it. Okay? Let's start with Om and stop with Om and 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शांति शांति शांति
Jai Saram, everyone. We're going to practice the Christmas carols over here on the carpets and the blankets over here. And children are going to wrap the gifts for the shelter with